dismissed every accomplishment I've made. You've talked about my father. Well, you call me an entitled millennial, I call you a carny succubus, because the dirty secret about you, the dirty secret is you need this generation more than it needs
What
you.
up, y'all? It's KMB, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe, and this is the New World Podcast, brother. We're talking about Dynamite, November 5th, 2025, in Houston, Texas. Excalibur, Brian, and Tony on commentary, and I'm bringing you the audio version of this podcast for this episode, crunch times and everything like that, so I got to get it out of the way as fast as possible, but I did enjoy this show. Tony Schiavone opens up. We have Excalibur and Brian, and Tony will join them on commentary afterwards. Tony Khan and Tony Schiavone announced the new national championship that's going to be won at a casino gauntlet match at Full Gear. I am like, that's cool. But do we really need another championship in AEW? I get confused about which championships we have. I know Okada has one. I remember there was two international and continental championships. Then now a national championship. And he says that Tony Khan's been wanting to do this national championship for a while. I looked it up. I was like, isn't the NWA national championship though still like current? And then I went over there to the National Wrestling Alliance website and looked up their roster, and yeah, but they have a lot of championships too. When does a championship or championships get watered down? It's like Mercedes Moné with all her championships. I'm like, oh, that's cool, but now there's going to be a point where you're going to have to lose every single one of those. And now that we have this, and I get it, championships, opportunities, they got to make the title the way they got to make the title. But I don't know. This announcement didn't really hype me, didn't really make me go, let's go, another championship. Because we have that championship now. We got the AEW Women's Tag Team Championships, which I feel like is rightfully deserved, rightfully so. But this was kind of like, okay. But as Tony's trying to talk, here comes Samoa Joe and the Ops. I love when he tells Tony, oh, my Georgia peach. But he's pissed off at Tony. He says, what happened last week was because of you. It is your fault, and I'm here to collect. And here comes Hangman for the save, protecting Tony Schiavone. And Joe's like, you know what? This is a 2-for-1 right here. So let's go. Let's do this. And Eddie, then Hook come out, and then they tell him to put those trios championships on the line. We already had this match going, Hangman, Hook, Eddie versus the Ops, but they tell Joe to get the championships on the line, and Joe gets so mad, he says, you don't talk to me like that. So he tells him, like, you're on. The trios championships will be on the line. So then we go into our first matches for an advantage for Blood and Guts, which is next week. Claudio and Orange Cassidy battle it out, and this match was awesome. Claudio's a beast, dude. He's just so strong, But Claudio gets the win over Orange Cassidy to get that advantage. And it's funny is like, the third advantage match is like, if necessary. And I was like, oh, we're going to get the third match because it's going to be Mox and I believe Roderick Strong for Blood and Guts and everything like that. So, or is it Kyle O'Reilly? It's either or, one of the two. I know it's an advantage match that's going to happen on Collision. But Claudio gets the one for the team. Renee is with Mark and Kyle Fletcher. And Don Callis, Mark Briscoe tells Kyle Fletcher, like, hey, I heard your boy Don say no for you. But, you kicked me in the balls. You got the advantage. That might not feel good. You need to understand that. And he says, he tells him, like, hey, me and you one more time. This time, no DQ, no nothing. There's no excuses whatsoever. Mark and to Kyle Fletcher at Full Gear, and Don tells him, like, you know what? I want to take something from you then. If you really want this match, it's going to happen at Full Gear, I want to take away something. And Mark's like, what, my career? He's like, no. He goes, no, I never want to take your career. I think you're having a marvelous career here in AEW. I want you to join the Don Callis family. And Mark Briscoe says, you know what? If I got to make a deal with the devil, I'm going to make a deal with the devil. Ho. So Kyle Fletcher, Mark Briscoe, one more time. Renee, we come back from break. Renee's with the Young Bucks and Don Callis and Josh, and then Okada, the family, all there, trying to convince the Young Bucks to join. Don's like, look how sweet it is on this side of the fence, man. We can help you. We can do this. And Okada tells him, like, hey, don't take too long, bitch. Oh, I'm just kidding. He didn't say bitch. But he says, don't take too long. We go into a tag team tournament match. Willow and Harley versus Monet and Athena. I really thought Monet and Athena were going to win this match. I love the fact that Willow and Harley are called the Babes of Wrath. I love the name, matching gear and everything. But of course, in this shenanigans, Athena gets her minion, Billy Starks, to try and help. But no, Chris Statlander's like, hell no. Then chases Monet out, chases her away. So Willow and Harley can get the win and advance. And I was like, oh, well, this is nice. I like this. And Harley pinned Athena. So I'm just assuming like that's a given of her getting a shot at the Ring of Honor Championship, which Athena's like over 1,000 days, which is insane and awesome. Now we're back with Tony Schiavone talking about this national championship match at the Casino Gauntlet. Whoever wins, he says the two men that have entered is Shelton Benjamin and Bobby. And here comes MVP. They just want to hurt people. Then here comes the demand. I kind of tuned most of this out. But you get the gist. These two teams have been fighting each other for a while. We go to Jurassic Express promo, telling the Bucks like, hey, it's okay, man. You guys need this more than we do. They put a $100 bill. He stabs it. And my favorite part about this is Luchasaurus is about to grab it. And Jack is like, hey, leave it alone. And Luchasaurus is like, oh, okay. Another advantage match. Darby Allin versus Daniel Garcia. I got to say this, man. Daniel Garcia with the Death Riders is, I think, what he needed. There's a whole new level to this dude now. I mean, he's vicious. He's just mean in that ring. Mean. And him and Darby beat the shit out of each other. There was moments where I was like, damn, Darby, I love you, but do you really need to put your body through this every single week? Getting that big old gash on the back of his head and everything, and Pac coming out like a monster. Then, of course, when Darby gets the win, here comes the Mox call. Here comes Roderick. Here comes Kyle O'Reilly. Then here comes the man himself, Moxley. It's all out chaos. Chaos. I love it. Because why? Blood and Guts is next week. Let's go. Then we have FTR. I really did skip it. The only great part about this, guys, that I'm just going to say was Stokely. When FTR called out Brodito, saying like, hey, where are they at? Stokely's at the door holding it. It's locked. And Renee's like, what's going on? He's like, I don't know. I've been trying to help. That was funny. I didn't really care for FTR getting in Bandito's family. I'm just like, okay, there's sometimes there's a line I feel like that just gets crossed. Yes, it's pro wrestling. Yes, I get it. And I'm not being sensitive to it, but I'm just like, all right. I don't know. I just don't care for heel FTR. I think the best thing about heel FTR is Stokely, because there was a moment right when Gravity had enough. He went and fought, and Stokely's still at the door, and boom, Brody breaks through, grabs Stokely, and I was like, great comedy bit right there. But of course, Gravity got his ass beat down before Brodito could hit the ring. Then we get a Blood and Guts package. Dean Malenko talking about it. This ring is basically War Games, but still, it's Blood and Guts. It's a tradition around here in AEW. Megan Bain versus Mina. Tony on commentary. Tony great as usual. It's funny. I love the fact that Mina and Tony's name is Timeless Love Bombs. I was trying to think to myself too. I was like, what is the name of their tag team? And I finally got it. Timeless Love Bombs. And Tony's great on commentary. This is a fun match between Megan and Mina. And a back and forth battle, but Marina chokes out Tony during this match, distracting Mina. Then Megan gets the advantage and beats Mina. Then here comes the Triangle of Madness. Then here comes Willow. Then here comes Hayter. Then here comes Harley. Then here comes Monet, who Monet's like, Then here comes Chris Stanley to beat down Monet. Then it's a big old fight because once again, we are trying to get the hype ready for Blood and Guts. Blood and Guts. So I'm so excited to this next week. Then Full Gears, November 22nd, 2 days before my birthday. Now, main event time, baby. Hangman, Hook, Eddie versus the Ops. A lot of great matches on this show, man. This was really fun. I like the fact that Hobbs took out Hangman with the table spot. I really did enjoy this match. Like, from top to bottom, my match of the night is still Willow, Harley versus Monet and Athena. But, man, this was a good way to end the show. The Ops, though, retain those trios championships. Poor Hook in his back. He had to tap out again. Yeah. And Eddie was being held down in the corner, and Hangman's dying over there at the table. But the Ops get the win. Yeah. So, I'm excited. I'm so excited. And that was Dynamite, man. Solid 4 out of 5. Match of the night, Willow and Harley versus Monet and Athena. Moment of the night. Oh, I gotta say, the hyping us up for the men's and women's Blood and Guts match. Then announcing Falls Count Anywhere between Hangman and Hobbs. So I'm just like, yes. And I'm still scratching my head about the national championship. What do you think? Do you think AEW needs another championship inside the company? I think not. I think it's kind of silly, but, who am I? I'm not running the show. I'm here watching the show, sitting here, working out, watching the show. So, tell me what you think. All right, y'all, but that's Dynamite, November 5th, 2025, Excalibur, Brian, and Tony on commentary in Houston, Texas. And next week, we go to Greensboro, North Carolina. Oh, yeah, for Blood and Guts. All right, y'all, drop those comments below. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Share with your grandma, share with the boom that I want. I am KB, the Sexy Ninja, and remember that the New World Podcast is for life.
Trios match. So since you guys have agreed to this match, is it safe to assume that you have joined the Don Callis family?
That's a difficult question.
Come on.